All right, I'm in the town centre. I'm with Norman. Norman, obviously it's not a great time to be a Sun supporter at the moment, is it?
No. I think I've seen worse, but not really as bad. Being in this division for 3 years is a disgrace. When you've got the support that we've got, we shouldn't be anywhere near this position. And this guy in charge now doesn't seem to be doing anything that's making it better. And
3 years in this division it's nothing short of, it's
an absolute disgrace. Because you know that these lads pay their money week in. I used to be a steward over there, but I've got a back problem, so I can't do it now. But the lads who go in all weathers, and they're not getting a fair day, and they haven't for a while. You know, we've gone from the Premier League to this. It's terrible. They couldn't even get in the playoffs, even with the lockdown. They couldn't even get in the playoffs.
But the points per game thing, I've never really mentioned that in any of the interviews, but the points per game thing, what's your feelings on that? I think that was a bad way to end the season, me personally.
Of course it was. And the teams that's in the playoffs, or were in the playoffs, they probably were part of the that's right. You know, I mean, they all got Wickham in the first championship. Wickham. They started off the season, they had 8 players, they didn't have any money to buy, and they were favourites to go down. And look, you know, we beat them twice.
Wickham, they were 9th, I believe, after that Wickham with the lockdown. They have chose not to play, but they knew the points per game would have moved them into 3rd. So I thought it was a bit slight. That's why I know I'm not what the channel I've said. And some lads congratulate them, but I couldn't, because I just didn't think it was right.
No, it wasn't right at all.
That's not me being bitter or nasty. I just didn't. I mean, the Premier League got played out, the Championship got played out, League One should have been played out.
Of course it should. I mean, when you look at the teams that's gone up, Coventry, Rotherham, I think they only get about 6,000 or 7,000 supporters. Coventry, well, I've never liked Coventry, but when Jimmy Hill was there. But when you look at the teams that's coming down from the Championship, they were the ones who went up last year. You know, Barnsley, you know, we
I mean, do you think, you know, whose fault do you think is mostly this season? Is it the manager, the players, or do you think it's the owner? Or do you think it's a combination of everything?
I think it's a combination, because basically the players are not good enough. But they will probably be good enough with a team like Wickham, you know. But a team like Sunderland with 30,000 supporters, they're not good enough.
I think yesterday he was in a meeting with the fans in group with White Army, and he basically said that the fans are to blame for like the current situation that we find ourselves in, and also to blame for potential investors, anybody who wants to buy the club. That for me is the last. To be honest, that's not the last straw. I think he couldn't redeem this anyway, could he?
Well, he doesn't have. He hasn't got the money. He says he has. He hasn't. He works for. I think he worked for an insurance company down south somewhere, and he had shares in Oxford. You know, and you think there's something not right about this bloke. But again, it's typical. I think everything went pear-shaped when Margaret burned. When she went, it cost us a lot of money. But the supporters deserve better than that. You know.
Obviously, if Donald stays, can you see him back in the squad in the summer? I mean, is he going to back part?
I cannot see him. Well, the 27th of July is it July? The window opens. Who's going to want to sign for Sunderland? You know, that's because you've got to look at the type of players we've got. Somebody said to me, there's 120 players out the first 2 divisions who haven't got a job. They're not working for anybody. So that's probably a chance to come to a club with 30,000, but it's obviously the wages make a difference as well. But I think there's us in Portsmouth, I think we have the highest wage bill. But that's fair enough, you know. But these lads who are out of work could give us a chance to get 1 or 2 of them, you know.
Going forward, are you confident next season?
Not the way they are at the minute, not in the league. I mean, I'm talking about lads my friends who've been season ticket holders since we won the cup, and they're not renewing, you know. But you've got to see that's the thing with Donald. He's got to show that something to the supporters to say we've got a chance, but he's not doing anything.
Thanks for your time, all right. Have a safe journey home, all right. All right, I'm in the town centre. I'm with Amanda. Amanda, obviously, not a great time to be a Sunderland fan at the moment. Stewart Donald's obviously in a meeting yesterday, and he's not budgeting on the price, 37.5 million. He's only put 16 million in, and it's, the whole club's toxic at the minute, isn't it?
It is, yeah. What can you do? Times and everything. So, I don't know. Sorry.
Do you think, like, if he sells up, to the right person, then the fans will not be as bad towards him if he can sell it to the right people. But I've got a feeling in the start of next season, he's going to be our owner, and he's not going to spend any money, and that's a bit worrying as well going forward.
Yeah, I agree there. I think my husband, he wants him to go, definitely. Get somebody in that is passionate about the game and everything. So.
And that's what we need. When he first come in, like he said the right things, but I was always sceptical. I didn't really believe anything. Even when he first come in, whenever he was saying he saved the club, he saved this and that, I just didn't believe it. You know what I mean? But it's just a worry as well with the fans. There's no season cards, 10,000 only being sold, 14,000 not renewing. It's just worrying for the club going forward, isn't it?
Yes, it is definitely for anything really in these times. So yeah.
I think as well getting in the ground. I don't think it's going to be any supporters in the ground till October, I believe.
Might even be after then. Who knows? Would you want to go? I'm not sure.
Well, I'll still go. Obviously, I think there'll be like safety issues and just like wear face mask. It's going to be hard when people's had a few drinks and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Do you think, going forward, do you think we can get promoted next season?
Well, we can try, do the best we can. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Right, thanks for your time, though.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Have a safe journey home. All right, I'm with Brian. Brian, obviously, Stewart Donald meeting yesterday with the supporters, liaison Red White Army, and the feedback what I've heard wasn't very good. Like he's sort of blaming the potential sale of the club onto the supporters. And what's your feelings on that?
Rubbish, like, I mean, I've been a Sunderland supporter all my life, and been through the good times, 73 and all that. And I said then there'll be another day later, and I think since then we've had good times, but it's gone downhill slowly, like, and it's just we're in the first division, like, and it's just we should be in the Premiership, like, and it's been a lot of bad management and that, like, not the money. I mean, the supporters are the best in the country, and they should be putting more money in. They should have been the top 6 in the Premiership with the supporters, and that's what they deserve, Do you
think Stewart Donald's come in, he got the club at a cheap price, and he wanted a quick turnaround, get us promoted, and then double his money and out, gone?
Definitely, like, I think since Ellis Short, I mean, I thought he was good, like, he did a lot for the club, and then things went downhill, and like he left, and obviously he wanted to get his money back, which is fair enough. But since then, it just seems like it's been cowboys that's come in, just a quick buck and make a few bob, play on the name of Sunderland, the big name and all that, and get out, like, A
lot of people said when Donald when he first come in that he saved the club. I didn't buy that. I didn't believe it. What's your feelings on that?
No. I mean, I'm not, as I say, I've been a supporter for 50 odd years all my life, sort of thing, but I don't bother now because they waste of money, like, So really, it's just sort of, they need drastic changes, like, like we need somebody run the club who's got heart in it, like, who's like local or something like that, who knows what something's all about, and not outside. It's just to make a quick buck.
3 seasons in this division, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
Absolutely ridiculous, like, And I mean, I don't think we would have gone up this year if the season had carried on. We wouldn't have made it. Like, it looked like we were, but and then it just fell apart. And that, and the players, like, like, I mean, you can't name half a dozen players, like, they're just getting them second hand, has-beens and all that, like, And it's a club like Sunderland. I mean, I know Newcastle, like, yeah, imagine all that, but they're still up there, like, you know, and they've had the problems, but not as much as we have. Like.
And you keep on whinging about how, everything's so bad about them and they've been badly treated and wages are better than the Premier League. And
I mean, Newcastle's got the worst chairman in the world, like, you know, like, but they can't get rid of them, but they're still there, you know, they're still in the Premiership, like, where that matters, like.
I just hear the worst one about, I mean, they've been relegated twice on them and you got them promoted, so.
Well, you know, just the way, I mean, how many years has he been there now and he's still there? And they want rid of him, but he's still hanging on and they're still in the Premiership, right, you know, like now. So he's got to be doing something right, you know, whereas we are languishing in the first division and like, I mean, next season it's just going to be the same, unless there's radical change.
If Donald's still there next season, will he invest in the squad for next season?
I don't think so. I think he's got to go. I think it's got to be somebody with heart in the club. Somebody like local or who's had, you know, who's had dealings with someone, who's got a run it.
Who knows the club inside out.
Yeah, exactly right, you know, who's got the heart in it though, who's got something at the heart and not just somebody who couldn't give a monkey's like, you know. Like.
What's your feelings on that points per game, the way the season ended? What was your feelings on that?
Well, I think like that to do something like, you know, like, and I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have carried on. I mean, they did in the Premier League and the Championship, like, so. Yeah, exactly. So I think they made a decision too quick, you know, and I really think they should have carried on, played 3 games a week like they do, and at least it would have been, you know, it would have either getting up or at least it could have said, well, fairly, we haven't getting up, you know, we're out this, yeah.
Just quickly, mate, obviously, if Donald's still there, if Donald sells the club and we've got new owners, do you think, like, he should stick with Parkinson, or do you think he should get start afresh and get a new man?
Start again, like, you know, like get somebody with local interest, you know, with heart, you know, like, I mean, Kevin Ball, I mean, he was the hero to me, Kevin Ball, he was great, like, you know, like, I mean, I know he hasn't done management, but at least he's hard from the club and all that. I mean, whether he'd do any good, I mean, you need experienced managers and all that, every club does, but none of them are just like has-beens and that they're getting in that, you know, like, and so now they need changing top to bottom, like.
Massive changes, mate.
Massive changes.
Thanks for your time, mate. All right, and with Kathleen. Kathleen, obviously, it's not a great time to be a Sunderland fan at the moment. I don't know if you know, but there was a meeting yesterday with the Red and White Army fan group and Stewart Donald.
I heard it on the radio in Newcastle last night.
I mean, the price tag for me, 37.5 million, I think that's a bit steep.
Far too much. Should be at least under 30 million.
Chris Witherspoon of the Wiseman Seas, he's an accountant. He said that the maximum amount of money he's put in is 16.5 million. I mean, I know as a businessman he wants to make a profit, but if he wants to sell it that bad, he'll lower the price, won't he?
Well, yes, definitely. Definitely. I think he's just wants to stay on, you know, but he wants to sell it. He doesn't know what he wants to do, really.
I mean, I'm worried. I mean, going to next season, I mean, with people, there's only 10,000 season tickets renewed for next season as well. I mean, that's a bit of a worry because, I mean, the only sort of form of income coming in is going to be season ticket sales because, you know what I mean?
It's the salary cap that's worrying me. Because how can you, if you want to trade for a player, you're going to have to come to more than what the salary cap says, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean that would definitely not, that wouldn't benefit us if it was a salary cap because we're the biggest team in the league by a mile. Do you know what I mean? If it was a salary cap $2,500 per player, that would affect us big time. I mean, I'm just worried going forward, Kathleen. I mean, with this the takeover going on, will he spend any money? Will he happy in it for next season?
I know it's terrible. I think what he needs to do though is to really find someone who is willing to pay. And not the 37.5 million he wants, but to pay for what he thinks it's worth.
He also said yesterday, which I thought was a bit disgraceful, he said the supporters, it's their fault that the club isn't being sold, because we're coming across very toxic, and it's our problem that the club's not getting sold. What's your feelings on that?
No, it's not the supporters' problem at all. It's his problem. If he's made up his mind to do things the way it should have been done. I mean, spending that money on uh, yeah. I can't think of his name. Will Grigg, that's it. Spending the money on that, he could have bought 2 players for that.
So, like going forward, you think? I mean, it's all a bit doom and gloom at the minute, but do you think do you think he can turn it around? Is Phil Potton's the right man going forward?
I don't think he can turn it around. No.
And have you got faith in him to deliver the signs we need to go on for a promotion push next season?
No, I've got any confidence in him at all. In fact, I was just thinking, what he's done is he's brought in all these people he knows recently.
Yeah, all these mates.
Yes, and that is wrong. Yeah, this Reid should have got rid of him years ago. Spent 2 years. I don't know whether he saw what he put in the paper, and I thought, honestly, it's ridiculous.
All right, Kathleen, thanks for your time, all right? All right, I'm with Keith Hunter. Keith, bit of doom and gloom at the minute for Sunderland Football Club.
One of the where he's got a season ticket, at the top part, yeah, and I think it's disgrace the way they're going at the minute with this business of, never mind. I think it's not very good at the time of this, is it?
Yesterday in a meeting with the Red and White Army fans liaison, he basically blamed the supporters as well for the fact that they create a toxic atmosphere and he can't send the club because of that. What's your feelings on that?
Well, not very good, is it? Certainly not very good at all. And it's a shame for the fans too, because they get a good, they get quite a good seating with it, Yeah.
Are you confident? I mean, next season, we haven't seen any players yet. There's a lot of what's went out. Are you confident, obviously, next season?
Well, I don't think so at the minute, I think it's a bit doom and gloom like everything else at the minute, But there's always hope, always hope.
And do you think, obviously, if we can get new owners in, and it's a new start, and all the fans that didn't renew will come back, and then the whole place will lift again, and it'll feel better. I think it's
I hope so. Yes, I hope so, because the fans will go back, Obviously, they're disgruntled at the minute, but they will go back, no matter what happens, I mean, it's a good sport,
I think this is the most toxic I've seen the football club for a long time now. I mean, the season ticket debacle didn't help. I mean, if you just had come out and been honest and just said we haven't got the money at the minute, but we'll pay you back in August. You know what I mean? But they didn't. They just went about it wrong, didn't they?
To be honest with you, right from the start when he took over, we always thought that there was something, that's right, that's it, yes. But it's in the hands of them now, and it's,
37.5 million for a club. We're debt free, he keeps on saying, but he's only put 16.5 million in. And now he's got a matter of property.
Wanting to, this loan business, he wants to pay it off, It's obviously what he's done to make money.
Oh yeah, well, as well, like I see, the woman just mentioned there, the 20.5 million he took out with the club and put it in Madrox, the other company what he owns. But he's assured the fans, I'm not certain about that, he's going to be paying that back. I'm not convinced about that.
Yeah, and not myself, But look at Newcastle. They're disgruntled at the hierarchy, Yeah.
There's no pleasing some supporters, but thanks for your time, okay, mate? All right, I'm with Sylvia Jackson. Sylvia, been very disappointing news yesterday about Stewart Donald. He's trying to sell the club, but he's selling it at a very high price. He hasn't put much money in. It's the whole club. It's all doom and gloom at the minute, isn't it?
So when we're going back to Stadium Life, when we get their money back, or what, we got, everybody got, some fans got season tickets. I want to know if we get the money back.
The refund, you mean? Well, you'll have to apply for the refund end of July.
How long are we going back to Stadium Life, do you know?
I think it could be October. October.
I can't wait to go, because I'm put some of the fans I like saying manager. We're going to get new manager. I'm over the moon.
Do you think Parkinson's the right man?
Yes, Parkinson, right man, yeah.
What's your feelings on Stewart Donald?
He's alright. Yeah.
Do you think it's alright pinching 20 million of the club's money?
No, that's not right at all. What they've done to Sunderland. I don't like Newcastle, of course. And I hope it's Sunderland and Newcastle going and playing again. I'm going to be there. Because I hate Newcastle. Because I don't like Newcastle supporters.
Obviously, we haven't signed any players yet. That's another worry. Do you think Stewart Donald's heart is in the job? Has he hasn't signed any players yet and he wants to sell the club?
I think so, yeah. Yes, I do.
Thanks for your time. Okay, cheers, love.